Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to a one-off video regarding an Xtrons stereo in your Fiat 500 and probably other cars as well, and bad radio reception. So if you've installed an Xtrons stereo in your car but you've got bad radio reception, this might be the answer. Stay tuned and I'll give you a solution. So, as that little intro explained, if you've got an Xtrons stereo that you've installed in your Fiat 500, this video is specifically about Fiat 500s, but it may well apply to other cars as well. Now this, I don't know whether this applies to the cheap Chinese ones that you buy from AliExpress or eBay or Amazon or anywhere like that. It probably does. Now this knowledge that I have acquired recently and how to solve it, I have not figured this out for myself. One of my subscribers actually told me about this. I don't know who it is off the top of my head. If I happen to find the name before this video goes out, I shall give them the credit on the screen. So, as I explained earlier on, so if you've got an Xtrons in your Fiat 500, in your original OEM stereo, you had a good radio reception, but you've put an Xtrons in and the radio reception just seems poor, dropping out, non-existent in some cases. There is a reason. The Fiat 500 aerial, which you see here, contains same as all aerials, you've got the center core of the wire, and then you've got the braiding that goes around the outside. Now that wire not only receives the signal from the aerial on the roof, but that actually puts 12 volt supply to the aerial, because your aerial base has got a little amp in it which needs power. So that amplifies the signal coming down the mast and then sends it to the radio, so you've got an amplified signal, which is why you get a decent signal in your OEM head unit. So it's the head unit that is putting that 12 volts up the aerial socket to feed the amplifier. Xtrons, and probably the cheap Chinese ones, don't do that. So you're getting an unamplified signal. So if you live in a built up area, you live out in the sticks where the radio reception is not the best, or just generally you're not in a particularly good area, you may find you've got no signal at all, or very sporadic signal, one that cuts out every now and again, or just pretty ropey and crackly signal. Sometimes the RDS won't display, because I think the RDS needs quite a strong signal for it actually to display. That's the reason your Xtrons does not put a 12 volt signal up the aerial to the amplifier in the aerial base. Now, there is a way around it. You can either install an external, or rather an internal, I should say, standalone aerial. Looks a little bit like those DAB ones you were used to get, which now they seem to be the things we get when you put a SIM card in. So it's a data aerial which you stick on your windscreen somewhere. They look very similar to that, but they are a standalone FM aerial. Now, I've not tried one of those, so I don't know what sort of reception you get from those. However, if you want to continue to use your aerial in your car, which is obviously the best thing you can do, you can buy one of these. So I'm going to show you this. I've got two different ones here. So this applies whether you've got a facelift car or a pre-facelift car. So the pre-facelift stereos look like this, and of course there are others that look very similar to this, which go in the smaller aperture, which also in most cases will you take your vents out as well. But there are the single dim ones which look like this, which I've been fitting recently, which obviously utilise your original vents. With those, what you can do is install one of these. So what these are aerial amplifiers. Let me take it out of the bag and I'll show you exactly what you get. There is a little instruction leaflet in, there's a little sticky pad, you do get little cable things. I don't quite know why you got two, but what you got, so you've got the aerial lead there. Don't forget the stereos use different sockets, don't they? So all you do is you take the plug out of the back of your stereo, you then plug that into your stereo, and then you plug what you've just unplugged into that one. And then you have a live wire. Now what you need to do is locate the live wire on your Xtron stereo. Now I'm not going to tell you which one that is, because they may vary and it may change in some way, and obviously we are talking about pre-facelift and facelift cars. So at the moment this is the one for the pre-facelift, because you've got the standard aerial socket. So if you look in the installation manual for your Xtrons, it gives you a wiring diagram, and all you need to do is use one of these splicing things and splice that wire into an ignition live. Not a permanent live, an ignition live. So when your stereo comes on, when you turn the car on, it will connect. It's got a little blue light there. I think it's blue. It's got a little light just there, which will, sorry, I wasn't pointing at it, a little light just there, which comes on to show it's powered. And that then amplifies your signal, and you'll get a decent signal again. That's all there is to it. Simple as that. It needs to be on, you don't want it to be live all the time, so make sure you get it on an ignition live, not on a permanent live. If you want to attach it to the cigarette lighter or something like that, you can do that, or you can do it to the fuse box, but it's just as easy to do it into the loom. Just have a look in the book, and I'll put a picture of what it looks like now, and it will show you which one is the ignition live, and all you do, as I say, just splice it into it. That's the one for the pre-facelift. So if you've got a facelift Fiat 500 or Abarth, similar thing, well, exactly the same thing, but you've got different ends. So what you've got there, if you've ever taken your stereo out, I assume you have, as you've got an Xtrons, your aerial socket is one of those rather than a standard, and then you've got one of those as well. So all you do, again, same thing, you take the aerial socket out of the back of the stereo, which you plug into that one, and then you plug that end into, I think I'm doing that the right way around. Might be the other way around, actually. Yeah, it could be the other way around, I can't remember off the top of my head. And then you do the same again, connect the wire. You've got an inline fuse there as well. Again, look at the manual and it will show you which is the correct wire to use. And that's it. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description to both of these little devices. And that's all, all it's doing is it's amplifying your radio signal, which will then give you a good signal. And that will alleviate any of those problems you've got with poor or no signal. So thank you to the subscriber that let me know about this. I haven't actually had to try it yet, because I haven't yet had a problem with signal. However, my Abarth does cut out sometimes when I'm driving around. So I'm probably going to install this one in my Abarth, and when I do, I will do a separate video for that, which I will tag, when I've done that, I will tag it on the end of this one at the end of the video. So that's it, simple thing to give you a decent radio signal, and very, very easy to fit. Of course, you do have to take your stereo out to do it, of course, that's the only thing. So that's the one for the facelift, and the one with the normal aerial connections is the one for the pre-facelift. So that's it. Hopefully this video will show you how to get rid of any aerial problems, any signal problems. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.